somewhere deep in my mind. See the barbed wire, the place is grown all wide. Cause I don't know if it'll be enough, or if they really care. There's a stairway down for the both of us, but let's not go there. You got me thinking, whoa, I don't know how we got here. Oh my, I think we better run. We ought to leave this place tonight, I'm telling you. Pack up your suitcase, we'll find a new place. We'll cross the border, can't stay no longer in this town. Somehow in this small place, minds begin to shrink when everyone is two-faced. Their hope eventually sinks, cause I don't know if it'll be enough, or if there's a way out. There's a stairway down for the both of us, but I won't have it. You got me thinking, whoa, I don't know how we got here. Oh my, I think we better run. We ought to leave this place tonight, I'm telling you. Pack up your suitcase, we'll find a new place. We'll cross the border, can't stay no longer in this town. I don't wanna waste no time, feel it coming now, it's a sign. Never felt like this in my life, not waiting a minute, awaken my spirit now. You got me thinking, whoa, I don't know how we got here. Oh my, I think we better run. We ought to leave this place tonight, I'm telling you. Pack up your suitcase, we'll find a new place. We'll cross the border, can't stay no longer in this town. See it, see it, see it. No,
It's calling me like the rainbow. It's calling me.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a whole new NACE Varsity Premier Valorant season. It's been such a long time, but we're finally back at it today. This tournament's going to consist of the very top of collegiate players pitching each other week in and week out with exciting matches. I'm your caster Toka. Joining me here today is my friend Old Brown Banana. How are we feeling today?
We're feeling great. Love to be back. Love to be casting Valorant. I'm sure the players are happy to be playing Valorant, and I think we're in for a great one today.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Honestly, I've just been in a self-induced hibernation ever since the end of last season. No esports, not really
Yep.
anything. I'm just kind of no casting or anything. So it's great to finally be back at it and actually work again. So hope you're also echoing that sentiment as well. I'm just excited to actually finally see some Valorant again.
Of course. I mean, it's always great when you're in server if you're a player, if you're in our normally in a booth, but here in our own in the comfort of our own bedrooms, but when you're able to cast, it's always a great day, you know? So, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to these two teams. We have Northeastern. I think I'm expecting to see great things from them, and then do you want to talk about our other team? See what do you really expect from them?
Yeah, we have UW-Stout here going against Northeastern University. So in terms of the rosters, Stout didn't make any changes from last season, but I'll be excited to see what changes they make in terms of how they approach the games compared to last season. Last season they didn't. They had a very mixed season, some successes, but definitely a few disappointing results as well. But this opponent they're going up against is, I think, pretty equal in terms of their the matchup. So it'll be exciting to see what they bring into this new season, despite the lack of roster changes.
Well, if we stay talking about Stout for a second, I think it's really important, that they have this chemistry built up now. Like you mentioned, there's no roster
Hmm.
changes over the offseason. So they've had an entire offseason to kind of work through a bit of their struggles that they had last year, get to know each other a bit better as teammates, get more familiar with each other as in server as well. So I think that coming into this new season they should be really refreshed, feeling pretty good. I think that they will hopefully come out pretty strong to start out this tournament. So
I think I agree with you there. Their objectives will definitely be for today to start on the strong foot, maybe get a win under their belt to start off the great season. It's always really important to sort of set the tone for the rest of the season. And I think you're right there, especially now they've had an entire season and the off season as well to build up this chemistry, finally solidify their roster. I know they've had some a bit of issues with like substitution, who's gonna the sixth man who's gonna play the main five roster from last season, but they finally solidified that going into this season. They'll stick with this roster, and I hope that that chemistry and that experience that they got from last season will carry over into this one nicely.
yeah, and of course, if we want to focus on Northeastern for a second here, I think looking at their roster, they have a pretty strong team. I'm not familiar with them. I've never seen them play personally, but just taking a quick glance through the roster, I am expecting some pretty big things. I don't know if they're a new roster, if they've brought in anyone else, but if they are playing in this collegiate, like most teams, they're going to be pretty strong. So it's not like you're not really going to see many like stomps. I think I'm expecting a close match. Um, and it would be interesting to see, where teams actually decide to take it with in terms of map picks. Obviously, with the new season, oftentimes you'll see teams change up their map pool in the offseason as they've had, time to kind of rework their playbook, go through, have different strats. So, like I said, with this first game, it should be a good one.
Yeah, and I think the position, sorry, the date at which this new season started is very interesting to bring up, considering uh, the meta just sort of already shifted with new map being added, new agent, of course, being Vice.
Hmm.
Um, so, and it's not like immediately after the changes. They've had some time to figure out what they want to do with these new changes, the map pool, the meta. So they've had time to develop strategies, but not enough time to say
Hmm.
that a team would have a very well developed or like super deep playbook.
Hmm.
So the position we find ourselves in is very interesting in terms of they have had time to figure stuff out, but there's still a lot of stuff they might not have it down yet. So it'll be interesting to see how well they develop it throughout the maps and throughout the games they play.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point with Vise coming in. I don't think we've really seen many. We've had a chance to see any like pro teams play Vise yet. So this may be like the first kind of semi-pro, relatively high tier like team to actually play Vise if they decide to pick into it. Oftentimes, when the meta shifts, you'll see teams trying to stay away from the new agent. But I think with Vise's current kit, she's coming in pretty strong already. Obviously, we have the Flash that's refreshable and can gain info. That reminds me a bit of a Sky Flash with the way that old Sky used to be able to send out to constantly get flashes for info in the mid round. And I think one part of her kit that oftentimes is forgotten about is that wall. It's obviously
That was so
indestructible.
strong.
So, yeah, it's indestructible. So, there's nothing you can really do once it goes up. So, you have to kind of be aware of that. And if you're going in, especially on the attack side, and you're hitting a site, you really have to be aware of that wall and how that can just throw a wrench into your plans.
Yeah, I mean, the last professional like top tier event we had was of course Champions, which was saw Edward Gaming win the entire thing. But from then till now, we didn't have any really top tier tournaments or circuits going on. Mostly just Ascension. But even in Ascension, they haven't
Yeah.
implemented Vice yet. So this will be our real first look. as
Hmm.
of whether these teams decide to bring Vice in and use her, and
Hmm.
whether if they do so, then how well have they figured her kit out.
Yeah, I think it will be really interesting. Obviously, like you mentioned, champions with EDG winning. We saw a lot of Neon picked in that tournament, and I think it may be interesting to see if the meta kind of continues to develop. Obviously, like we talk about Vise coming in, Abyss is still a very new map, and I think it hasn't really had time to fully kind of solidify its meta. So if Abyss is picked into this one, I think it could be interesting to see what both teams kind of decide to play. There's multiple philosophies on that map. You see teams like G2 opting into the Astra. You see teams like Heretics opting into the Gecko, playing a bit of that post plant. Another team that decides to use the Astra, and I think it could be really interesting to see on that map if we end up going there, how these teams will decide to play it.
Yeah, I think you bring up a very interesting point. The meta, I think, for now in Valorant is very balanced. I think it's the first time in the game's history where you can kind of bring any comp into any map and it will work. Like before, we had very set compositions, right? Very set agents.
Hmm.
This agent is good at this. On this map, you have to use this agent. Now you can use whatever you want. You want to play Jet on the bitch? Sure. You want to play Neon? No problem. She's meta too. Like
Hmm.
as long as you have players who understand the kits of their agent, you create a composition that the utility can combine and supplement each other well, it
Hmm.
really doesn't matter what you come up with, it will work. So the meta currently is very balanced, so it'll be very interesting to see the ideas of different philosophies of different IGLs and different teams and how they clash against each other.
Hmm. And as we get into the map pick here, obviously anything that stands out to you, I think the first thing I'm
Breeze.
looking at is okay. Well, we don't want to
Yeah,
talk
okay.
about Breeze as that's a map that most people, the community's feelings on that map are well known. I would say, but the first thing I'm looking at is Breeze's Abyss. Okay, thank for the for the players'
Yeah,
sake.
we have an update.
Yeah, we haven't quite got the graphic updated yet, but Breeze is Abyss, so that means we will be seeing Abyss this map. And what do you like? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I think this is interesting because you have a mix of both very old maps, relatively new maps, and also solid maps like Lotus.
Hmm.
It's a new addition, right, in the past year, but teams have had a lot of times to practice on it and have also had games last season with it. Uh, Abyss is completely new map, so we'll see completely new changes in how the teams want to approach it. And Haven is, of course, the one of the OG maps of Valorant. So teams
Hmm.
will have had a lot of experience on it already. So pretty old comps, I think, we'll be expecting if we go there. So a mix in terms of the range across the maps. So it'll be very interesting to see how the teams approach this.
Yeah, I think with going into Lotus, I'm kind of expecting pretty set meta. You see teams running the Fnatic comp oftentimes with the Fade. You see, you're most likely going to see Fade, Raze, Omen, some Sentinel. It could be KJ, it could be Cypher. And then that fifth slot is usually up for debate. Some teams opting into the Viper, some teams opting into the Breach. And I think it really will show what type of game plan these teams will go in. I think with the Breach offers a lot of benefits with faster playstyle. You may see the Breach comboed with like a Neon, someone to like take space, follow up on that utility. And then with the Viper, you see usually a bit of a slower style. The wall goes up, you slowly re-clear A main, you slowly re-clear rubble. And then on the defensive side, both of those comps offer a lot of stopping power.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Lotus is that has been a meta, but very recently in Champions, we've seen teams basically just throw it out the window. We saw teams like I think Trace Esports, one of the
Hmm.
Chinese teams. They completely scrapped everything.
Yeah.
They just played it out with different compositions. They brought in Neon. They I think they used Phoenix even at one point. Like
Hmm.
so, yes, you can use the Fnatic comp, the Viper. You can use the Viper Omen, and you use the Raze and the Fade. But a lot
Hmm.
of teams even can, especially in tier two as well. They've been using Clove. They've been
Yeah.
experimenting with the likes of Gecko,
Hmm.
Neon. They've been using Jet as well in the double duelist composition with Raze. So
Yep.
I mean, Yoru as well has been proven pretty effective, especially in the taking space of like A and T long. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what
I,
they do, but I don't think there'll be any radical changes to the comp today.
I 100% agree. I think Lotus as a map allows for kind of more creativity than some of the other maps, just with the way it typically plays out. Obviously, being a three-site map, you're not really going to see like the same style of play that you will on like an Ascent, for example. And even if we compare it to Haven, which we may get later in the pool, I think the way that the main fights work in C main and A main are very different. Like, oftentimes you'll see a team fight towards Rubble, and then C Mound, you'll often see a lot of early pressure there. So I think it will be, like you said, kind of allow for a bit more creativity from the agent select and from how these players actually decide to play the map and decide to approach the way like that they game plan around their characters.
Yeah, and I think one of the main shifts we've seen on Lotus is in terms of the pacing. Before, it being a three-site map, we see teams being overloaded a lot, especially on defense side, trying to
Hmm.
maintain space. And on the attacker side, it's the same dilemma of which space you want to take early, which space you want to advance, which
Hmm.
space you want to decide to fight for, right? There's a lot of different areas that you have to contest for. And it's sort of a 50-50 coin flip, whether you want to take A long, want to go
Yep.
C long, or what space you want to take. So in terms
Hmm.
of the pacing, one of the main shifts we've seen is the map has gotten a lot faster, especially with teams pivoting to using that neon.
Yep.
Um, so before, teams would kind of, push back on each other. You push here, we push over there. But
Hmm.
now we've seen a lot of early fights, a lot of rushes, and the maps have gotten. This map specifically has gotten a lot more exciting and faster over time.
Yeah, and I think when I watch Lotus, the way that I tend to think about it is this game usually happens in like three stages where there usually is an early fight for some portion of the map, whether or not each side is contesting, like you have maybe the attackers taking A, the defenders taking C. There usually is that early push and pull, kind of like you mentioned. And then it really settles down and things go into the mid round. And in that mid round, that's where like the brilliance of these players and the intelligence of these players is kind of shown, because with it being a three-site map, obviously there will be open gaps, and it's up to the players and the IGLs as well to kind of maneuver around, try to poke and prod at the defense, try to find where that gap is, maybe find a timing, see if they can get like a lurk. And that's, I think, really where the brilliance of Lotus is shown and how it becomes such a dynamic map, because in that mid round so much chaos can happen where you'll see maybe one person flanking from C, but at the same time you'll have the attackers pushing through B, having found a timing to slip into like C link, for example. So I think this map is really interesting, and it does really, like we've mentioned before, allow for the players' creativity to kind of shine through.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you that this map has a lot of approaches to it, a lot of school of thoughts. For example, in a round, you can either just approach it standard like a map like Haven, or you can introduce, aggression, or maybe you can use the doors. That the doors here, the rotating doors, completely changes how the map is played. Right, fast pivots, talk about fakes, everything you can that can be introduced in the mid round so easily. So this map, I think, is a really one of the best maps to test how well your team understands the game, how well your strategies have been developed, and most importantly, how well your IGLs actually navigate the tempo and the overall pacing of the map and the matches that they play.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a great point. And you know, Toka, as we wait for this agent select to come in, how have you been this off season? What have you been spending your time doing?
I mean, I might be called a heretic for this, but I've been spending a lot of time watching other esports, honestly, in the off season. Mainly Valorant's friendly competitor, um, and yeah, I
Don't
think
say
the
league. Don't say
excitement from
league.
champions kind of have carried all the way here because that top tier tournament was so exciting for the entire scene. Seeing the first
Hmm.
uh, Chinese team to lift a major international trophy, and it being the biggest trophy in the year as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of been downhill from there. But I'm excited to have the
Yep.
offseason kick back again. But it seems we've been taking a bit long for the players to get ready, so we'll go ahead and throw in a little break. We'll be right here.
Put all your stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me? We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt, though the sun has almost set. Make the most of it. I know we will dance and sing. There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. Party in the streets and the city's on fire. There's a heat wave rolling in. There's music in the streets. We're moving to the beat. There's something in the air that makes the city come alive. A breeze that makes you high. We'll be up till late tonight. Love gets another chance. Pretty people holding hands, uplifted by the night. The way that it should be, can let it slip away. 'Cause this might be our final summer day. There's a heat.
All right, we're back finally. I think the issues have been resolved, and we can be expecting to get into the game very quickly now.
Yep, hoping we jump to that agent select as we wait for, all the rest of these players to get settled. It's not a first game back if there aren't a little bit of tech issues, of course.
I mean, it's collegiate Valorant, first game of the season. It would not be collegiate esports if there weren't tech issues,
Yep.
especially player-induced tech issues.
Oh, of course. I mean, our lovely production team getting everything all settled, and as we jump into agent select, hopefully, please. I would like to get this map started ideally, but we can waffle about Lotus a bit more. What did you really see at Champs that you thought was some great strategies? One thing I mentioned, or one thing I noticed, was EDG's comp playing a bit weird with the clove, but no need to talk about that as we get into the agent select. We see the Viper come out from Stout, like we talked about a bit before.
Okay, there we go.
Opting
Sorry,
into that.
I just had to refresh it real quick. It wasn't showing for me, but here we are.
both teams actually opting into that Viper. Will we see a mirror match? Well, no,
Okay,
we
this
won't.
KJ versus Cypher
Yep.
dilemma here.
As we have the two philosophies that we talked about a bit earlier, one opting into the Cypher on the side of Stout, and then one opting into the KJ. Both have their strengths and weaknesses. I think for the Cypher, that global utility, oftentimes you'll see an early camera towards C to kind of take and hold space, gather information. And then, do you want to talk about that KJ?
Yeah, I think the main difference between the KJ and the Cypher is with the Cypher you have a lot more freedom in terms of lurk. Like you can go individually lurk, or you can join up with your team. With the KJ, you're kind of forced into this position where you always have to play away from your team and play that lurk role because the the utility of KJ, the turret and the alarm bot, either to watch flank or control more space, is not global, right? Cypher trips
Yeah.
are global and no distance limitation on that. So the KJ is kind of forced to play around the in-game built limitation for her kit. So that definitely limits their options. But on the flip side, her ultimate is way stronger and has a lot more utility than Cypher.
But as we get into it, I'm excited for this great game between Stout and Northeastern. Let's see. Opting towards the early B main walk, and the defenders will take early rubble control. Northeastern's already on the defense, but as we see the early utility come out, and Koodles and Breezy opening up the kills. A 5v3 now as Northeastern will be forced to retake this.
It's going to be a 5v3 here. It's going to be a very strong position for them. They play on pit, so they're kind of forced to play on site.
Enemy remaining.
Breezy goes down, but it doesn't really matter as they do pick up the two players who were in A-Link. So now it's only a 1v3. Alone Breezy for HP. I don't think we can do anything about this one here. So we'll
And
just
he
go down.
can't. Ziggy goes down in that, and from the Northeastern side, I don't think they were expecting that fast kind of B hit. We saw early rubble pressure from them, but we just saw the Cypher on Stout side. Breezy just playing back, waiting for his time, buying time, and then once the hit came in and the attention changed from the Northeastern side, they started to put pressure towards B. He took that time to kind of backstab and actually take advantage of the timing that his team created.
Wait, 5 Bulldogs. That's a bold buy and a half.
Not something you see every day, of course, but with the stronger weapons, you are hoping that if you are the side of Stout, that you do want to bring over all 5 Bulldogs into the next round, have a pretty strong bonus. But Northeastern probably just looking to do some economic damage. Start split 3-2. 3 on A, 2 towards C and B.
Yeah, okay. Stout has the right approach to this. You're playing against an eco, especially with such a heavy investment that you basically can deem this like a bet on next round. With this buy, you kind of just have to limit the amount of damage they can do. If playing slow is the correct position, the correct way to approach it. They have to be very careful not to let any gun slip.
Yeah, we see a Fade Haunt come out to clear the Omen, and there it is. The rifle advantage clearly in favor of Stout as they will take the site cleanly. No guns lost so far, and Northeastern most likely will be looking to die to Spike here, but if they can take a couple of guns down with them, I think that's what they're hoping for.
Last player standing.
Only
Trades?
one kill so far. Yeah, so far. Trade. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Okay. Yes, Stout does convert it, but they do lose 2 guns, so I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been better also.
Nowhere in sight.
Yeah, it's still 3 Bulldogs, so still is winnable for Stout, but if you're Northeastern, I think you're happy with that. You drop 2 rifles on the ground. Going into this first rifle round, you have a gun advantage. And they're not even opting to buy up anymore, just a Ghost and a Sheriff in the hand of Breezy and Euphase respectively. So I think we should see Northeastern easily convert this, but if Stout can kind of outmaneuver them with that slow play style that they've been playing with so far. Wow, and Wangle with the first pick into the round onto Buzz, but traded out from Turtwig. 4v4 now. Getting right into things.
Northeastern did not expect a solo Omen TP over Rumble there, especially playing into a heavier buy. Caught them out by the surprise, so they'll just get that 1 kill, which is definitely in the favor of Stout, especially with the weaker weaponry. But they gain some, they do some, they make some pressure towards Rubble to get that orb, and then they're backing away. I think they'll gain position towards a looking position of the Viper here.
But that should be a rifle recovered though, as the Omen, when they did go 1-for-1, dropped both the Bulldog and the rifle. So Stout
that's
should
two
be able
big
to
rifles.
recover this. Yeah. And it's the Fade alone here on site. But they will back out. Opt to play the retake with their team.
I mean, he has to. He cannot die right now. So it's a 4v4. The plant goes down. Northeastern kind of has to speed this up because if they allow Stout to get into a favorable position for the anti-retake, it's going to be very tough on them.
U-Phase gets the kill towards that raise towards Blue Door. Turtwig going down. Dropping yet another rifle, and it's a 3v4 now. Northeastern. D Young gets the pick onto Shocked, but Ziggy trades it out. Taku now in Rubble, left alone. 1v2. Cannot get the kill. Breezy gets 2 to close out the round, and that's the bonus converted for Stout.
Wow. I mean, that is such a big round for Stout. They'll be extremely happy with that, taking that bonus round as well and putting Northeastern's economy into shambles. But if you're looking at this from Northeastern's point of view, this is a completely disastrous. How did you just let them walk onto A right that? And they didn't even try and set up the retake. I think they just kind of started peeking alone and just dying all over the map. The retake didn't even get started or like get set up. So I do want to see some changes towards Northeastern. When that buy does come, this round doesn't really matter that much for them. But in terms of the next round, I want to see a bit more proactivity. They need to actually make decisions whether they want to attack Stout right away, maybe do a flood retake, or they want to back out and play together because they cannot let Stout keep getting away with getting first picks. This
And
fight
there's
is
the
so
proactivity
important.
you mentioned. 4 of them just pushing out of B main with those weaker weapons. Get the first pick, but Wangle gets 2. Brings things now into a 3v3, and this is the cue for Stout to speed up.
No fuel.
Shocked, left
Shocked just
alone
has
with
to
a
delay.
dig on site. I don't even know if they're going to be able to clear this.
Get out
Ops,
of my way.
dry swing from U-Phase.
One enemy remaining.
Wow!
Shocked with 2 beautiful headshots. Breezy left alone now. Rifle in hand, but Shocked still in this tree position. Opens door, and Breezy uses that info. 46
It's gonna be
seconds now.
1v2 here. Shocked did so well that did delay for his entire team to play. Now Breezy has 40 seconds to play with. He does have the spike with him, but his 2 players again at the same angle. They know exactly where he's coming from. First fight is a 1v1. It's free, but he doesn't collect it. So now it'll be a poorly hard 1v2, and Buzz will convert that round for Northeastern. So an eco turns into a win off the back of some great proactivity.
Like you mentioned, you wanted to see a bit more proactivity from the Northeastern side, and I know it was an eco, but we did see that proactivity. 4 walking down B main, gets the first pick, and that really set them up for success in the round as they kind of, split the attacking side in half with 3 in A and 2 in C, and once they were able to kind of pinch, and they really took it to them. They really took it to Stout, and they had no response.
Yeah, I think Stout got a bit fluid into the usual pacing of the first 3 rounds, where the enemies just kind of played on site and didn't have pushing on anything, didn't take any space. So when they did, Stout was caught off guard. They played a 2-3 split. The Cypher utility was, I think, a bit lackluster in terms of how U-Face set her team up. Didn't have any trip towards that being pushed, which ultimately hit Stout in the back.
Yep.
They might
As we
just
get in-
execute out to see here off this race ultimate.
Yeah, Showstopper in the hands of D Young.
Satchel out.
And the Nightfall as well. Seeing if they decide to opt into that. He did throw out the blast pack to try and break the KJ util, but it was quickly
Troy.
removed from Shocked. I think that's an underrated play because that keeps the stall utility from Ziggy up in this round. And if they decide to hit into C, then they're going to run into staunch opposition. Nightfall in, but Northeastern on the fast flood.
30
Trades go
seconds left.
even. 4v4. And there's the showstopper we mentioned.
Oh,
Blind onto Ziggy. Unable to escape it, but Breezy.
One
Rapid
enemy
Breezy.
remaining.
Oh my goodness. A great lurk, great timing to be found, and is left alone now. Buzz in a 1v4. Stout, I don't think they lose this. And Wangle just eliminates
Wangle
Buzz
just
from
goes
the
for the
round.
eagle. That was
And
an insane round from Stout. I mean, they just forced their way through. I mean, they had the basis to do so. They had the fade out. They had the showstopper. They came in time, and I really like the play of D Young, knowing that Northeastern is going to be more geared towards backing out the site off the back of the Nightfall hit. So he saved that ult, he got on site, and then he used it after they took the site. So that's a really smart play. I think the play that won them that round was Breezy lurking through B. That was he got two in their spawn, so
mhm,
Northeastern did not have the time or space to mount a retake.
a great play call on the side of Stout. And you still want to see a bit more from the Northeastern defense. I think a bit more proactivity. And
Oh,
it
check
seems
this
to only
angle.
come out when on those ecos. Let those sheriffs sing. Ziggy gets two, but even trades. Rifles in favor of Stout. Northeastern still with that showstopper, though. So not all of the venom taken out from this round. And
They're gonna get all the
Turtwig.
guns.
Oh my, yeah. A 3v2 now. Stout in this post plant. Down numbers. Guns should be recovered. And the showstopper still on the side of Turtwig. Looking to close out this round, win yet another eco. Looks like they're flip sides. Defenders doing an execute onto site with bomb planted. Poodles from that CT. What can they do? It's actually D Young, the first one to swing out. Gets the nade. Sends it out to delay time. Last pack up. Taku not expecting it, and Toodles takes that timing to swing out from CT. Stout close out the round. A bit of turbulence, but they were able to right the ship.
Okay, that was a really good 2v3 the way that they played that for Stout. But Northeastern taking a timeout here off the back of that of a 4-round lead for Stout. But I think that last round Northeastern actually did so well. They the the aggression and the proactivity that we're seeing from them on eco rounds is actually so good. It shows that, they have the capability to fight together and take these space early. But what I want to see after this timeout is they actually start doing it on these buy rounds, because they cannot be just letting Stout walk all over them when the rounds actually matter. And then on eco rounds, when the result really doesn't favor them or really matter in the grand scheme of thing, they actually start playing the game. So I want to see them actually inject themselves and their character into this map rather than just letting Stout do whatever they want and then reacting.
Yeah, maybe a bit of nerves on the side of Northeastern. Like we mentioned, first game of the year. And it seems like they're kind of a bit scared to take those risks, playing a bit too uptight, not loose enough yet. They're not, warmed up into the series. And hopefully they're with this timeout, they're kind of discussing how to actually change that up, how to be more proactive on defense. Obviously, you don't want to, overheat and push too far. That way you're not giving away like free picks. But you do want to still have that aggressive map control so that you do know, oh, Stout isn't an A, so they have to be in B or C. Then you can kind of make some calls based off of that. But as we get into this, a bit of fake rubble pressure coming out. We do see the
Oh, this
Odin
is
on the shock.
very real. This is not fake.
So that is a switch up. Shocked left alone with this Odin, but just sitting there waiting for the trap to be sprung, and there it is. Gets a bit of chip damage onto Toodles. Here's the orb come out, and there it is.
Great.
Odin's in this position tend to get a lot of value, but they're playing too passive still. Stout walk onto the doorstep with little to no resistance. Wangle gets the first pick onto Ziggy into that blue room, and that really opens up the map now. We see Wangle taking a ton of space towards B. Has the backstab maybe even on the turret, but looks like they have their eye on this. Like ships in the night. And there it is. Wangle takes out Turtwig. And that's a 4v2 now.
Last player standing.
Taku left onto site by themselves. And a 4v1. Buzz left alone. I don't think there's anything they can do to get back in this round.
Yeah, he's gonna
Spike
have to
planted.
save here. I don't think it's worth trying in a 1v4. He's gonna die to Wangle. Yeah, he just has to tail his way out of here. So, yeah, I liked that Northeastern was more than prepared to throw Yuto at the Stout push. But still, they need to start actually taking the space rather than just doing that. Wang will finish that one off. Like, Stout is very good at slowing these rounds down and then getting extra space. You saw there, they took a pause. They realized that there's heavy pressure on A from the defense side. They can't really force their way through. So they call a stop, and then they let their players, their players are very intelligent. They just kind of let them work out what they want to do. Wangle push through stairs and see, push through B up to upper into the spawn. Didn't see any pressure, and as soon as they got some kills, the backstab kills, they immediately exploded onto A. So Northeastern, they have the right ideas in terms of what they want to do, but they need to actually execute off the back of that rather than just keep playing reactive to what Stout does, because Stouts are playing this very smart and they're not leaving a lot of time or space for Northeastern to figure it out.
There.
Yeah, like you said, with that reactive playstyle, they're not the ones taking the first move. They're always the ones reacting to it. So they can't actually get the, jump onto Stout. They're always expecting the reaction from Northeastern. It's almost as if Stout has completely controlled the pace and pressure of this game. They've really
They
been
know
the
it's going
ones
to be a
to...
C hit here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like they have the right read, though.
Turtwig has pushed completely into the spawn, so they know exactly where the position of Stout players are. Now, Stout, they have to realize that, so they call a pause, but they want to see them back out and retake the space that they've given up.
Here.
And they're doing exactly just that. Really good realization from Stout that they don't really have any space and that a player could have already flanked. I would have liked to see Turtwig actually insert himself into a much deeper position, give his team more space to work with. This is relatively fine as well, as they already have a stack on C. As a hit comes in, Wango gets one. His teammates are following up so well though. Northeastern getting no time to breathe here.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my god, that kill was nasty.
And that's just Stout. Even with the proactive play we saw from Turt, they fully just took control of that round. We saw once that trip was broken on their flank, you saw them as a team. They backed all off in the mid round, so they cleared out all of front B and all of their flank. And then once they knew that they were safe in the back lines, that's when we saw that C hit come in. And that's when we saw them as a team. They took a 1v1, but everyone used that timing that Wangle took to actually spring their attack. So once Wangle gets that first pick, that's the go sign. That's the time where DeYoung knows, oh, I have to satchel in now. I have to be the one to kind of follow up on that space you took. And we see them really setting up each other to play off of it. But into this fast A-Rubble aggression from both teams, Wangle once again wins out the Omen 1v1 and gets a second onto Turtwig, completely opening up this round. Taku now left alone. I don't think Shocks will get here fast enough to reinforce.
Cover going out.
Yeah, it's gonna be the flank from the KJ. This fight is gonna be absolutely crucial. If they can win, they might actually have a chance. U-Phase does go down, so there's actually a chance for Northeastern in this round. Chalk needs to stay alive. He does exactly just that. So this round is absolutely on here. We do have a game in our hands, but they will have to use this KJ very smartly, and Stout realizes that they have to take more space, and they do exactly just that. Look at the position from Breezy. Arms up to heaven.
What confidence.
If the KJ does come down, Stout is going to have more than enough space to deal with it. So this is genius from Breezy. He's going to get both here.
What a reflank. One, gets the first, cannot get the second, but pushes Ziggy into the waiting arms of Wangle to close out the round. 3 for him, and that's 8 on the board for Stout now.
This is Northeastern map pick here, but Stout is making it look like their backyard garden, because man, Stout is playing this so smartly. The decisions that their players are making are completely on point. They're realizing what they need to do in the rounds. They're reacting immediately. They're calling each other to do that, and they do it, and they succeed. Playing against a team like this who's so confident in making all the right decisions all the time is extremely difficult for Northeastern, who is a team in this position. I think they really need to start building that confidence. So, but in this position, I don't really see them be able to actually string rounds together. Another kill for DeYoung here. I mean, I think this half is going to end very ugly for Northeastern.
A bit overzealous from Ziggy, opting to just take a dry 1v1 with that Sheriff, hopefully trying to find a pick to open up the round, but DeYoung having none of it. As the Stout execute will come in, a 5v4 post plant. Northeastern does have ults to play with, but on this eco round, I don't know if they'll opt into using it. Still a showstopper in DeYoung, so if pressure comes in, he is that kind of pressure valve to release that. Does have the tools to work with, but look at how far back that Northeastern has to use their util to clear, because they're so worried about these aggressive plays from Stout. DeYoung still on site, gets the first. Buzz able to trade out, but a 4v3 with weaker weapons. And this bomb is planted for them. Not much Northeastern can do. U-Phase and Wangle tag teaming, closing out the round. An 8-round lead for Stout. Northeastern still with only 1 on the board.
Yeah, this is gonna get ugly here for Northeastern. They have 5 ultimates here, and they have the full buy. So this is one of the rounds where I think their approach is gonna have to be what I call Overwatch, which is dump all your ultimates in one go. They need to start using them. Maybe deploy the Viper on C to stop that push, and then play very hard on one side. Because they need a round to build this confidence. It's not really too much about what Stout does or what Northeastern does. It's just about Northeastern needing to get into this game right now. They need to get kills. They need to get some of the rounds, because if that half point comes in the map and they're down 111, I think this series is done.
At this point, Northeastern need anything, but Shocked overheats and
You can't do that
Punished
with a
cannot
Viper
escape.
online.
Cannot escape. Like, you still have 4 ults on the board, but Northeastern just being forced by Stout to make all of the wrong plays. But it looks like we might see a reclear towards B. Maybe, maybe
Stout,
not.
they understand that Northeastern is down. They know that the pressure is on the opponent, so they're just playing this extremely slow, not increasing the tempo at all. Just kind of gauging, I think, see what Northeastern does with these ultimates. They're ready to respond. Look at this.
They're
push.
ready for this ult. It's already being pinged out, and D Young gets one on the turret, but Ziggy able to get that ult down and also
Last
trade
player
out.
standing.
But there it is, just overwhelming. Buzz left alone and nothing he can do. We see those ults go to waste. Like, I mean, the Viper
Last
playing
round
towards
in
Mound, like,
half.
what are you doing? There's 4, you still have 4 ults to work with, but you need anything on the board at this point. Down, looking to be a 111 half with the way things are going. Stout trying to continue their dominance, take it into map 2 already. You know, speed run this game. Like we said, coming into this match, it is the first match of the season, but Stout already in mid-season form, it looks like.
And Stout is looking insane. I'm telling you, like, they are making all the right decisions. Their reads are phenomenal, and their players are just so smart. I don't know if this comes down to the IGL and how they're reading this map so far, but the decisions they're making completely spot on. And Northeastern is getting no room to work with. But Northeastern, if they want to actually get themselves back into this map, they need to do something crazy. This is not the time to continue playing safe and hope that Stout can make a mistake. They need to just break down the status quo of the map and just go insane. They need to just turn up the pace, try and get a kill or two. It's the only way they're gonna get back into this map.
Buzz with the Guardian takes out the first on a D Young. That's a show. That's I don't know if you had the showstopper on.
No, he
That
didn't.
is the
He used it last round.
okay. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. That's the but that is the tip of the spear down, and Buzz forced to back off the back of that Nightfall.
Spike
Turtwig,
down
we finally
A.
see that showstopper invested from the other side, and the Nightfall, and the Viper's Pit on C, like you mentioned earlier. So using those tools that they have, and they are able to get an advantage. A 4v2 now, but
Last
Wangle
player
in the back
standing.
lines. Buzz, though, has a
30
tickle in
seconds
his
left.
brain, and he knows, I haven't seen Wangle in a while. I have to make a play, figure out where he's at. But Breezy, left alone in
Oh,
this
the
1v4.
timing.
Gets the first, gets the second, ult online, and gets
Oh
the
my
third as
god.
well.
You cannot do
Breezy.
this, Breezy. Oh my god.
Not
you are
like this.
absolutely nasty. There's
Knows
no way
where
you can
the-
crush their hope like this.
Knows where the Viper is because of that neural theft as well. And
Planted.
as things go into a 1v1 now, Stout still feeling all the confidence. There's no round that's unwinnable. Once
Dude,
things go
the
into this
one
1v1
round that
now.
Northeastern actually has a chance, they actually made the right decision. Northeastern realized where Stout was and they immediately reacted. They dumped the ultimate, they played aggressive, and they got their reward with Breezy just dumping a bucket of ice cold water on their head to stop their momentum right now. It's all gonna come down to this 1v1. Breezy does have a bit of an HP disadvantage, but he only has one angle to watch and he knows exactly what he needs to do.
Look at the nerves. The molly is missed. Gives Breezy a chance to swing out if he wants.
Tap
Shocked.
so late. Even if he sticks,
Confused.
no time.
Yeah, and time being bought from Breezy. Shocked forced to stick, but Breezy with a 1v4 clutch as Stout get to 11, and they just
Switching
dominated
sides.
this half.
I think, if anything, I think that was just Breezy stomping the last nail in the coffin for Northeastern. Not in this map, but it might even be in this series. And remember, this was Northeastern's map pick. This is going all the way over to Stout's Kappa thing. So I don't think this map is done. I think we can say that now. It's about whether Northeastern can reset mentally going to the next map, which is Stout's pick. That's going to be extremely difficult for them.
Yeah, and if you're Northeastern, you might already be looking forward to Abyss at this point. I think oftentimes it's
They
said
don't
that
have a chance.
you'd rather get stomped in the first map, just get it over with so you can reset easier. Some people say that it's easier to reset from these types of maps than when you lose like in a close overtime game, but Ziggy off the board takes down Wangle. So on this attacking side, hopefully trying to get at least a little bit of momentum as before we get into that second map.
Yeah, we'll see what Northeastern can do. I kind of want to see, especially on this attack side, where they will have the creative space to demonstrate what ideas they have. I want to see what they can do and what they can bring to the table. Because I mean, 111, if they can pull off this comeback, it's gonna be crazy. But you just have to assume that this map is already done. But it's just about how many rounds you can get before that. One comes, Turtwig getting taken out by the trip.
U-Phase
getting 2 here.
Ziggy
Completely
trades it
rock
out, though.
solid anchor on site, and it's gonna be a 3v3 with HP so low on Northeastern.
U-Phase doing great there. Left alone on
planted.
site, and she's able to take 2
This
out
rap
with
has
her.
already come.
But Breezy, the hero of the last round, trying to be the hero of this round as well. Spots out 1. Ziggy left to low HP, but Shock, we'll be able to trade one out.
Last
D
player
Young
standing.
now a 1v1. D Young trying to close out this map, win the pistol, forced out. But Shocked,
Oh.
re on the round, takes out D Young, shoots him in the side of the head, not aware of the reposition. And that's 2 on the board for Northeastern, so they were able to double their rounds, but how much more can they get?
And they get the pistol. It's the win condition. They needed that. They do full buy. Look at 4 Guardian, even a contemplation of the Vandal buy. Some players as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they buy into this. But yeah, Stout would just save fully here. I mean, they have a lot of rounds to work with. No risk.
4
needed, but
Vandals and a Bulldog.
that
Wow,
last
that's
round, like that take from Northeastern was actually so messy though, because so disconnected.
Mhm.
Because U-Phase was the only one left on site. It was a 1v4. They had like 1 trip, which was broken immediately after it got activated. But they lost 2 players right away onto that site take. So I think Northeastern, it's still definitely very tough for them. Like they win that pistol, but it doesn't look that good either.
But Shocked opening up the kills onto this round. Breezy gets a bit overeager, tries to take a little cheeky peek down C long, but gets punished for that. As Northeastern will call a really good kind of pause in this round. Let the doubt sow into the minds of Stout, but that Fade Haunt will reveal it. And that's the go sign on the side of Northeastern.
This double sub from tree is gonna actually do so much damage now.
Shorties, backside and in tree, but with the rifle advantage,
Oh, Turtwig
Turtwig
clears them both.
takes out 2. Now, left alone on the site is this Fade with the Shorty. What can they do? Most likely nothing, but with the way that the Stout
Yeah.
players have been playing today, who knows? Any round is winnable for them. U-Phase with that Deeg trying to play in the Shorty. And
Oh,
Taku
1
will
HP
take
from
him out.
Taku. Oh my god.
And that's big on the side of Northeastern too, because
Yeah, they
that's
saved
every
all the
single
guns.
rifle brought out.
Yeah.
This bonus
carry-
round is looking less like a bonus, more like a full gun round.
They carry all their economical advantage into the next round. Honestly, I'd be down for Stout to save this round too. Northeastern actually 4 Vandals from last round, so they understood exactly what they needed to do, and they did that. They set themselves up last round because they realized that, I mean, if we lost this round, we lose the map anyway. So just buy fully, and then they actually have the guns to play this round in equal terms as well. Young, when a very early push gets tagged by the Haunt, but doesn't really matter. Space already Stout. And Northeastern's gonna back out, try and rethink how they want to approach this round.
Does Turtwig have no armor, or is that a spectator bug? I cannot tell.
That's no armor from Starway. He has 2300, so he didn't buy a shield.
Maybe a mistake here in this round. Wangle gets the first pick onto
that
Ziggy,
kill.
takes out the lurk, and that's a bit of the snake, the 2-headed snake defanged as Toodles gets on one on the Turt, but Shocked takes out 2, evens things out in a 3v3, but Wangle has had the time to reposition, and are they gonna expect him here? Taku uses the Haunt, and there it is. Wangle's position now noted. Taku will be able to take them out, and things are left now. Breezy from this blue room position. Maybe the first point of contact.
They're just holding for him. They know that Breezy kind of has to is forced to peek, see whether the push has already come in.
30 seconds left.
This wall comes up, allows him to take 3 entries, 3 tree, a clear sight with the Fate Prowler, flat down. But with Stout players still alive, we never know how the rounds might swing, especially Breezy.
Position revealed, opposite top to the door.
Oh,
Buzz and Shock.
This fight is so
Take
crucial.
note of it.
He gets one.
But only one. Leaves things now into U-Phase in the 1v2.
Timing.
Taku with the first contact, and Taku will take out U-Phase. That's 4 now, and that is a bonus converted. Northeastern trying to cut this lead down round by round. And at what point do you start to believe?
I think it will have to be around 6, maybe 7 for me to actually believe. But I think it's less about the scoreline and more about how many rounds Northeastern can string together, because Valorant is such a momentum-based game. So if Northeastern can get going, maybe get 1 or 2 more rounds without Stout taking a timeout, I think it will actually be possible. But Stout will have to be in some very serious mistakes for that to happen. That's a terrible space taken half with the Young there. No reason for the satchel like that. It just went to rubble like last round. Would have been a free space take. So that kill was done and dusted. That had towards C here. Let's have the Cypher trip because it's only U-Phase here. Weak weapons so only.
And a Bucky. We've seen Buckies do insane work, but Shocked having none of it. None of the Bucky shenanigans will come into play this round. 3 left alive for Stout, but weaker weapons in hand, and most likely they're just trying to do damage. Breezy through the smoke though. It's 1 onto Shocked. Breezy gets 2 with that Stinger. We've seen NA Stingers play a big part in Champions, but Breezy looking to carry that over as well. Does get the Neural Theft online, but Herwig sits him down, and Northeastern are able to close the round. That's 5 on the board, and Stout get rifles on board, but as ults start to come up for Northeastern, they really can take control of this game.
I wouldn't be opposed to Stout taking a timeout here. Just, just talk about what they really want to do. I don't think the mental is going to be too affected, knowing that they have this huge lead. But it's more about stopping Northeastern's momentum, I think, more than about resetting Stout's mental state, because they have this lead. I kind of want to see them actually press the advantage. They don't want to see them play too safe, because a lot of times that's how you lose these leads. You get too scared to take risks. You want to keep the score line going, and that's how you let you kind of open up a space, a path for your opponent to come back into the map.
Yeah, Stout now with rifles in hand, finally looking to close out, and that's a beautiful play.
Great
play. The nade, but able to dodge on the side of Northeastern. They handled their trap play well.
I'm lucky that it went onto the 2 Asians that actually had movement abilities there.
Yeah. Hopefully they were trying to get the KJ or the Rays, actually sit them down and out of this round, but that's ults online for Northeastern too. You have the lockdown, you have the showstopper. So Stout in this round at a disadvantage. We see counter paranoia is coming out as the Omen sells a fake towards B, but as the lockdown comes in C, I think Stout now will have this idea, but there's nothing they can do. Forced to back out and forced to play retake. This Viper's Pit from Shock could play a huge part in this round.
Yeah, he's going to use it now.
Wangle though.
Okay, he's going to use it. Oh, this doesn't reach the bomb plant.
Oh, it doesn't. D Young takes advantage of the gap in the pit, and now Northeastern will be forced to scramble, but Turtwig and Ziggy get 2. Off the reveal from the Cypher. Shock spams down. Toodles though gets Ziggy and 2. Now the Viper left alone in this 1v2. It's Shocked with the pit up still. Gets the first. Now
look at this round.
footsteps though.
Timing's gonna be so crucial, and U-Phase wins it.
Oh no! From the side of Northeastern.
Oh, they fumbled that so badly. Oh,
they had that. They had the ults. They had the game plan. They even got everything down to that 1v1, but U-Phase having none of it.
Match point.
Sits down Shocked.
No.
And that's match point now for Stout.
Dude, that man, that one mistake, one single misplaced Viper ultimate, one single miscommunication about where the position of spikes should have went down for them was what ultimately cost them the round because that basically allowed Stout to take full control of the backside and force Northeastern to play inside that Viper ult. And I think even at that point they didn't start to realize that the spike was misplaced yet. So match points for Stout, and I think that mistake cost them the map.
Most likely is Stout now. Match point, looking to take us into Abyss. Nightfall comes out. Turtwig entering off that. Gets Yufei's backside, but Yufei's plucks Turt out of the air. Prowler revealed, and Ziggy and Taku get two. A 3v4 now. Stout down numbers, but as the Nightfall comes out, you still have a showstopper. There still is plenty of danger into the round. That nade. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Poodles just knowing where that player is gets the spam, but Shocked punishes D Young now. Wendell with that ult.
So big.
Reposition not noted as Taku and Shocked left alone. 2v2. Shocked takes Toodles out of this round, and Wangle looking to be the hero for his team to close up the map. A tap onto the bomb. Looks for the reposition. It's the first. Does he know of the second? No. Taku extends Northeastern's life. Gives them a bit of time left, as that's 6 now on the board.
I think it's kind of just delaying the inevitable here. Stout actually gave that a pretty good try, but what I would actually like to see from Stout is him just saving the ultimates up, not really using them much, then just maybe deploying them all at once to get that one last round win that they need. But I think Northeastern have started to realize that Stout is playing really safe, and they're just dumping all the utility on one side, rushing it down, and then they're and they're just kind of bringing it to an aim duel situation.
Yeah,
So,
like you said earlier, you want to kind of see them save up those ults to play Overwatch, you know. But we see the showstopper, we see the Viper's Pit, but as you know is the rule, it's always the ecos you got to be careful for, especially when the other side of Stout is on match point. We've seen them win 1v4s, we've seen them win huge clutches, so there is still plenty of danger in this round if you're Northeastern, and we can see that reflected in their approach, opting to play a bit slower, opting to take their time, kind of clearing the map as they group up now and take rubble. Door tapped.
let's see here.
Prowler in.
They're on Stout's gonna play retake. They have the showstopper. I don't think they'll need to use that Viper's Pit, but the showstopper is gonna be the most important ult in this round. It's on the eco anyway, so I don't think they'll really use it. They'll be looking to do damage. With the players that Stout has, I mean, damage is almost guaranteed. Breezy mistimed that right click. They go down and pay for his mistake. Another kill goes away, so Northeastern unresponded. 5v3 it is. The Young Asset does some damage, but no kill found just yet. Face still being a nuisance here. This is actually really favorable for her, but ultimately goes down. It's gonna be 1v5. First kill found. No more.
Couple nice shots from Toodles there, able to do some damage, but Northeastern skirt out of that round pretty unscathed, I would say. Still, though, there's the timeout we wanted to see. Stout opting to, take a brief pause, take a brief moment to reset, and figure out how they want to play these next 5 rounds. All they need is one, so it'll be interesting to see how they play this.
Again, I would be thinking about playing aggressive. I mean, there's no reason to, right? Stout has kind of backed away into their own shell. They've played too safe. They've reduced the risk taken. They've kind of relied on the score line to maybe aid them in winning these rounds, but Northeastern is not going to just roll over and give up the map like that. Of course they're going to try. Of course they're going to play, right? So Stout needs to actually also play like they usually do rather than trying to adapt to the fact that they have the round advantage, because a lot of times that doesn't mean much, because Valorant is a round by round game. So it's whether you can win the round, not the map. Stout only needs one, so I'd like to see some changes here. Northeastern would definitely be expecting changes from Stout, but I think Stout and their IGL is smart enough to realize what they need to do. What I want What I would not want to like to see is Stout just playing the same thing, doing the same thing. But they are pinging C long here, so they'll be pushing it, I think.
Yeah, but with the string of rounds that Northeastern has won, their economy really starting to snowball. The advantage really starting to stack in the favor of Northeastern. It's the same thing we saw happen to Stout in the first half. It is a 3-site map, and those tend to be attacker sided. So it's just, can Northeastern play almost perfectly to close out the rest of this map and force overtime? As they creep towards B, trying to find just a pixel out of place, a player out of position, in order to kind of get this opening into the round. Going through their protocols, though, they do break the trip, forcing a response from Stout. But this is the go sign for the rest of Northeastern to come out of tree. And there it is. Turt gets the first pick onto Toodles. Bomb denied by that raise nade. Hopefully, though, should be going down any second. Still tapping. Try and bait out utility. Try and bait out anything from the side of Stout. That showstopper, maybe. Breezy thinks there's one towards A main, but Buzz sneaks up, takes him out of this round. D Young, though, gets ahead of that C's and gets 2, gets 3. Oh my goodness. Buzz, though, the safe pair of hands there, closes out the round. Northeastern get 8. And now that showstopper's on the board, things are getting scary if you're Stout.
Yeah, this is getting tentative if you're Stout. They need to. I think they just need to stop playing safe. Just actually play it like they normally do, because they have to. I mean, it's 12-8, right? It's in the eco round, right? They're just save and hopefully play for the next. But next round it's gonna be 12-9s, and Stout actually needs to start playing the game again. So they need something to rally around. Maybe an early kill will do it for them. The utility is starting to miss here. Need to start. I mean, you just need to get back into it. They're letting Northeastern do whatever they want. It's not even about winning rounds anymore. It's just Stout needs to stop their opponent's momentum. Needs to stop letting Northeastern execute their game plan so easily without any resistance.
But does the KJ on the side of Northeastern hear this? But it's Breezy. Takes out Buzz and Young, and there it is. It's always the ecos. Still now, Northeastern looking to stay alive in this map. Showstopper is online though, and that is their biggest win condition at this point. Bomb was gone down,
needs to
but
drop a gun over his teammate and use his ult here.
There it is.
Yeah, do just that.
Kurtwig and dueling showstoppers. An anime battle in the air. D Young gets one, and Breezy will close out the map as this defuse comes in. It will be Stout to close out the map. It's always the Thrifties, unfortunately, for the side of Northeastern, not able to counter out with that gun advantage. And there it is. Stout win map 1.
They will start finally switching it up, playing aggressive, pushing out a rubble, and they claimed that final round that they needed. There was a good try from Northeastern, but ultimately that beginning scoreline of 1-11 was just too much to overcome. But we saw some positives. Northeastern were able to actually rally themselves back up, get back on their feet and actually give it a good try. So heading into this next map, perhaps Northeastern are feeling like they could actually win this one and bring it to a third map.
Yeah, if you are the side of Northeastern, you have some positives, but we'll both us and the players, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
In the still on your way to conquer your fears. In this dream of your own decide, there is someone calling your name. Love is forever, love is forever. To believe you gotta let go. Light as a feather, light as a feather. Lucid dreaming over Tokyo. To believe you gotta let go. Lucid dreaming over Tokyo.
Just close your eyes.
And when you wake up, you know what you need to do.
Just close your eyes.
Someone's been waiting for you. Just close your
Just close your eyes.
My heart is beating to your drum, and I'm blinded by the sunshine in your eyes. Not thinking twice, am I this dumb? Although I know you're all I want. How could I crave something so bad? My sweaty palms reveal a warning I should hear, but I don't care, you drive me mad.
All right, we're finally back at that first map, a 13-8 victory for UW-Stout. Going to this next map of Abyss, it is going to be Stout's pick. Northeastern is going to be looking to bounce back. How are we feeling about the second map?
I think if you're Northeastern from that first map, you can take a bit of positives. Obviously, down 111, you were able to at least start to mount a comeback and get a little bit of momentum to go and head into this abyss. But on the side of Stout, I think you're feeling pretty confident in your play. Like we saw them jump out to a huge lead, and this is their map pick now, so they should be favored.
Yeah, I think Northeastern were able to get back into it in the first map, but I don't think at any point it felt like it was Northeastern actually winning rounds and doing something crazy to try and rattle himself and win back that first map. It was more just Stout kind of playing too safe and realizing they have the score line, so they just kind of protected that score line and winning and trying to convert the map safely. So going to the second map, I want to see Northeastern actually play. Like I want to see them throw ideas at the wall, see what stick. I see them play proactively and not let Stout walk all over them and let Stout do all these ideas for free like this.
Like even on the side of Stout, when they were still losing rounds, we still saw some really good ideas from them. Like we saw that seize nade towards the A orb right outside a tree, but even though it wasn't able to get any value other than a little bit of chip damage, we still see them going through these ideas. They still have their they still stuck to their game plan. They still were able to kind of almost keep control of the game in a way that we haven't really seen from Northeastern. Like they've had their game plan, but it hasn't really been working. Like, and I think the Abyss will give us a chance to kind of reset that, rethink their game plan, think about how they want to come in. It is a whole new map, so I'm interested to see what they actually will, how their approach will look to this game.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, it's gonna be a new map, but it's still Stout's pick, so you'd expect Stout to already have ideas and have set plays and strategies in terms of how they want to approach this map. So is more about Northeastern seeing what they can do against this stout team. I would prefer. I think the only way Northeastern can really have a chance at this is if they completely just throw everything at the wall. I mean, if they just play fast, they play chaotic, they try and get kills every round, and pick fights with Stout's players. You cannot let Stout have these game plans that go flawless for them every round, right? If they turn this entire map to just pure chaos, they might actually have a chance because then Stout doesn't have the space, they don't have the time or the conditions, the correct conditions to execute their practiced and well drilled game plan. And that's how a lot of teams, especially underdogs team like Northeastern in their position that they're finding themselves in, actually win rounds and upset maps. That's exactly what they need to do for this map.
And Stout with their comp looking to keep things as standard as possible. We see the Ascent comp come out from them. Northeastern almost a mirror match, but they will decide to pick into the Astra. Of course, Buzz on that character that just received nerfs as well. So, or sorry, not nerfs, buffs. It's opposite day in my head apparently. Northeastern though, starting on defense. What are you looking to see from them?
I think defense for Abyss is definitely a bit weird because Abyss as a map is, I think, attacker sided because there's a lot of responsibilities for the defenders. You have to defend B main and A main; those are the main choke points. And then mid, the way that mid is set up, especially that bottom mid for the defense side, kind of have to have at least two players always commit to mid. So you're looking at a lot of responsibilities, a lot of choke points and areas that attackers can take, and defenders have to defend, but not enough players to do to take over those spaces. So the attacker side is definitely easier. I think Stout understands that. So they'll be looking to apply the pressure early on here against the opponent. But Northeastern, I mean, there are strong opportunities for them to do something crazy. Maybe do an early B push, doing it right towards aiming with flash or something. Let's see what they do here.
As we get into map 2, DeYoung taking an aggro swing, but Turtwig is there to match. A beautiful flash from the KO, but
Yeah,
it just
flash
allows the
was-
Jet to back out.
I think that flash didn't really find any value. I mean, I think that should have went in earlier to help him either fight. You just don't use that at all because by the time he's already backing out, I mean, that flash is basically just a free utility given to Stout here because on the defense run you don't have a lot of utility to work with. The KO flash is one of the most important PC utility you can have to set up with you or your duelist.
Especially on pistol round where there's
Yeah.
just less utility overall. Almost seeing
Okay.
a mistake
Yeah.
there from Breezy, but he will be able to get the plant down. As this retake comes in now, DeYoung takes Buzz, sits him down, makes him watch the rest of this round. Ziggy, though, wins the Cypher head-to-head. Taku gets one as well. Things left now into a 3v4. Turtwig, a beautiful shot with that Deagle, able to find the one-tap. 4v2, and bomb is planted for them, but
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
oh my
Oh, this
goodness.
is-
Wangle and Yuphase back against the wall. And there it is, Taku taking out Wangle.
Back to work.
And Northeastern will secure this pistol.
That was scarily close though. They should not have Northeastern shouldn't have allowed Stout to actually bring it that close, but they get that pistol around the board. It's exactly what they need to start building that confidence, start building that momentum heading to this map. That's what they need. Especially on the defender side as well. You don't really have a lot of opportunities to be proactive. So getting these rounds early help really, I think, help get them going back into the series off the back of what I would describe as a disappointing map.
Yep, one thing to mention about with this map being attacker sided is the defense has a really long time to rotate. So if you're unable to kind of stall out that initial hit, you don't have reinforcements coming for a long time. So we'll see most likely early A main pressure, but then they're opting to give it up on the side of Northeastern. We saw it in the pistol round, and it looks like they're opting to play that same game plan here. Turtwig
Oh,
falls asleep
Turtwig.
on the angle. Wangle, and
Oh.
unfortunately, Turtwig disconnects. Wangle taking advantage of that, but they cut noise now, sowing
here.
seeds of doubt in the heads of Northeastern. Still with that weapon advantage, though.
That's rough. dying to a tech issue like that. But Northeastern, they still have the basis to win this round. I mean, they have better weapons, and on a map like Abyss, it's really difficult to hit a site, especially such a wide open site like B, against better weapons like this Outlaw. Might as well be considered an operator or into that A site where Cypher is set up.
Yep, they have the weapon advantage in this round, looking to
trips
fully
are
take
broken.
advantage of that. But beautiful util on the side of Stout to kind of take space, deal with the pressure on site. But these weaker weapons, what can they do now? Once these smokes fade, Ziggy gets two with the Spectre. Buzz pulls out a classic to match it, and
Oh
DeYoung
my
with the
god!
knife. Oh my goodness! Oh my
Oh
goodness!
my god!
What a
He
shot!
pops the ult!
DeYoung pops
Right
back,
click!
gets the fourth! Oh my goodness!
And I
Stout,
wasn't even
DeYoung
trying.
doing it himself, winning this. Oh my gosh, what a play from DeYoung. What did I just see?
Oh man. Okay, I need to breathe out of that one. My god, DeYoung getting a push into CT. The fight was so messy between DeYoung. I think that was I don't even know who that was. Taku or Ziki or something in that position. It's turned into a knife battle with both players running out of ammunition on their pistol. And DeYoung getting enough on the board to get those knives out and right click to finish off that round. What an insane end to that second round.
You can
Thrifty
go ahead
handed
and
ecos are crazy.
cast all of this round. My jaw is still on the floor. What did I
All
just
right,
see?
here we go. Stout all the way into A. Only one player on the backside here. KO can he mount any kills? DeYoung all the way up over the top and on the back of Shock. Shock will go down. No resistance. And look at his space taken. They're not even rushing to get the plant down. It will plant to a CT. Wango gets a kill alert. Quickly traded by Ziggy. 4v3, so there's still chances for Northeastern. Look at this proactive play from Stout. DeYoung so smart to get that first kill, and the reinforcements already. Understand that another player is going to be in heaven here, and DeYoung punish. The only player left on the side Northeastern is Ziggy. Only pistols in hand and 1v4. No space and no fights to be found, which is back away and perhaps even I consider jumping off the map here and to get that money bonus in the next round. Oh, he does actually
have the
pick up a
Vandal,
gun.
so
Yeah, you know it's from
probably
Wango.
not wanting to jump off the map with that, but I've recollected my thoughts as the map is kind of settled a bit wonky to start off with, not converting that second round, the anti-eco on the side of Northeastern. Stout taking full advantage of that, and that may be the backbreaker. Northeastern in a tilting way too. You have your jet disconnect, and that may boom the mental completely. DeYoung taking over eight kills already in the third round of this game. A masterclass from the Jet so far. Yeah.
Man, that's rough when you're the opponent, especially if you're Turtwig, right? Getting that DC, perhaps tilting the mental a bit,
Here.
and seeing your counterpart, right? The enemy Jet actually gets on the board so early, 8-1, leading the charge for his team here. Scrap walk, gonna be punished here. Cannot be solo for swinging into a main like that. And DeYoung with the
my
crosshair
goodness.
placement and the pre-fire. He is tearing this map up and he is tearing the opponents apart. You face there to back him up as well. And another one. Might as well just get this last one here.
Unleashed.
Just look at this knife out into the spawn. Not a
He's
care in the
unleashed.
war.
There's good things come in bunches for DeYoung, it looks like. 2 kills to open up the round. And we see Northeastern making some mistakes too. They had the flash set up from that KO, but unlike in the pistol round, it just didn't find any value. And DeYoung just takes a dry 1v1. The way he's playing right now, he's winning those. And gets 4 again. Oh my goodness. He is on fire.
2 4Ks in 4 rounds. Wow. You gotta stop this guy, bro. You gotta find a way to stop his momentum, because if you just let stop at
Oh
this
my
point, they
God.
don't even need to execute anything. They just they don't even set him up. They just, okay, DeYoung go kill, and he does. They don't need to worry about it at all. Like Northeastern, they cannot be doing what they did last round. Turtwig, I understand that he's maybe a bit down in the mental and he's trying to find a kill, but you cannot be dry swinging like that into A main. That angle is always going to work against you. You need to set yourself up. Ask for a flash, ask for a recon or something. You just dry swinging. Might as well just jump off the map and give them that free kill.
Yeah. I think there was a flash point from that KO. looking to set up the jet, but just goes awry. We see early knives come out from A main, but both sides are actually have the read into this, backing off. Ziggy gets the pick, but can he get out now? I believe he can. And it looks like Northeastern have this read still as well. 4
Yeah,
players
actually
towards
smart
that
here.
B
They
side
go
of the map.
exploring towards mid. They realize the Stout doesn't have the tendency to really place players deep, lying towards mid, so they exploit that. Gets a space, gets the fight. And now I think they do have the read here, but they back away. It's not too bad. They can still actually play retake here for Northeastern, especially the man advantage that they have.
But on the side of Stout, D Young is alive, and as long as he's alive, the round is still winnable. D Young, there we go. We see the execute come out. Spams,
30
get a
seconds
little
left.
bit of damage. It seems like D Young just unable to miss. Aimbot activated. Takes a ton of space. Look at how
Push it
aggressive
heaven.
he's being. I don't think they have this. They don't have the read. Oh! Unable to get the kill, though, as that will allow for Northeastern to flood back in. Turtwig with the Sheriff in hand, looking to be the tip of the spear for his team. They see that side is clear. Toodles gets one, but Turtwig, are they ready from this close? No. Gets the first. Falls off the map. Unfortunate.
Especially the other people, bro. The other people.
Wangle left in this 1v1 basically. And that's it.
Oh, that's it.
He
Wangle
doesn't
won
know.
it, bro. The last guy's off the map.
Oh no! Oh no! You have D Young single-handedly
Bro,
winning
he
rounds
jumped off the map too.
for his team, and then Turtwig, a tale of two sides. The jet falling off, unable to help his team in that retake. It's just unfortunate for Northeastern. Seems like nothing's going their way.
What is going on in that last round? Man,
Ugh.
and then you thought that second round was crazy. Well, these teams just keep on piling on top of that. Man, absolute insanity, pandemonium going on right now in that B site in the last round.
D Young with knives for the second time
Yeah,
this map
this-
already.
Like D Young, I don't think he's gonna stop anytime soon. That last round, he jumped up and pushed heaven against weaker weapons. He's not afraid. Breezy is out here peeking mid with an op. It's a cipher for God's sake.
An attack up nonetheless. I mean,
Stout is all over the place right now.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Stout feeling fully confident. Turtwig with that dash pops has to back off.
He didn't need to dash that. I think that that was a troll play. It kind of just gave away where his position was.
And the foot
He
shot
silently
coming out
walked
from
that would've been
Breezy as
better.
well. That's 120 onto the jet with knives popped. Turtwig nearly 1 HP. Is able to get one though. Now,
Right click.
oh, D Young takes him out,
Spike
but
down.
trades now. Stout 3v2. D Young dashes into 2. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my God! How did he find a kill unshocked? What?
Spike planted.
I mean, an insane shot, but Ziggy left alone in this 1v2. Wangle and Breezy.
Got you.
Cam still up. And it does ping out onto 1. So, does have a chance, but Breezy with that op in the back lines secures the round. I mean, I don't think we can stop gushing about how good D Young has played this map. The insane flicks, like, gets one onto the jet through a smoke. Like, I saw him for maybe half a second, and I'm the observer. Like,
Yeah, that was insane. Like that second kill onto Shock was nasty. He went into CT. He was fighting Ziggy, and then just decided, okay, never mind, I won't fight you anymore. Goes into spawn, sees his teammate for a second, and then kills him. Like this inhuman reaction times from D Young right now. Confidence is completely and fully on the board here for D Young. I mean, he can do whatever he wants at this point. I don't think even if he dies first, I don't think his team will mind too much.
I mean, what can you
that's
do
such a good
to
clear.
stop that? Oh my god!
Oh my God!
Blinded. Nothing you can do to stop him. I mean, spamming through the wall. 9 bullets, doesn't matter. He's hitting the headshot anyway. D Young dashing, but in this 1v2, Ziggy, this may be a bit of an overheat.
Oh,
This
knife
may
out.
actually throw the round. Knife out.
Enemy remaining.
A bit too overzealous, a bit too overconfident now. Let's Ziggy at least get a chance back into this round. Toodles, though, left alone. And
Making all of this.
I don't think he's going to read this reposition. And yeah,
That's
there it
exactly
is.
what
Stout
it was.
closing out the round.
You know, Banana, I think It's just one of those things. Yeah, okay, timeout needed, okay, expected, but it's just one of those things, like we saw in Champions with Kang Kang. Sometimes we're just on their right. This is D Young's word, and which is here to go along with it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're Northeastern, this timeout, if I'm the coach of Northeastern, I am talking about one person, and that's D Young. How do we
Yeah.
stop this Jet? I mean, it feels like he's winning everything. It doesn't matter how much util, how many people they throw at him, blinded, flash. It does not matter. He's
Yeah,
still winning. He's still getting one taps. Like
he's
what can you
peeking
even
into
do?
3 people and getting 2. Like, what are you supposed to do, man?
Yeah, I mean, of course, a little bit of solace on the side of Northeastern. They were at a disadvantage, weaker weapons, and they did bring things down into a 1v1, but I mean, it may feel pretty hopeless. This timeout hopefully should reset a bit of the mental, though. And as we get back into things, observers, watch one person. I think we
Yep.
just need to see one person, and that is D Young. 17-4 through 7 rounds. Like he's getting more than 2 kills
Bro's
per
gonna get
round.
30 kills before the half even switches.
Oh my god. Like an insane performance. Breezy, he was a outstanding performer in that first map. Only has 2 kills because Young's getting him, but off the timeout, a fast hit from Stout. KO ult comes in, no command, but the Cypher plays out of that range, so the trips will stay up, and who else? Who else but D Young? That's another 2, because why not? And 3. Yeah, of course.
Man.
Like, why not? Why would he not get those kills? Dragging so well that my production and my game just froze. So
Yeah,
as things
same.
settle
Oh my
now
God.
into the 3v2, Turtwig, what can the opposing Jet do? Can they pull the same heroics that D Young has had? With the Hunter Spear on the other side, it looks pretty unwinnable. Oh
Like,
no!
oh, Taku,
Oh
no,
no! Not like this.
no. They even
Here he
told
comes
us
out,
about that.
but Turtwig able to get one, but cannot match his Jet counterpart. Oh no, for Northeastern, it's shambolic. D Young is 20 kills on the half already, and we're barely even halfway done. I mean, people are falling off the map. This game may be cooked. It may be chalk.
I think we can declare it over at this point. I mean, out the rest of D Young's team. This ain't even Scott. This is D Young's team right now.
Yeah.
The rest of his team is sitting back to the point where they're team ulting each other. Like literally, Hunter's Fury was targeted towards Wango, not even trying to deny the spike defuse at this point. They're so bored in their mind. Sit back, let D Young kill everyone. They have nothing to do.
So far, Stout have one strategy on Abyss, and that is D Young go kill.
Just unleash the monster.
100% working. Like I see nothing. Here a mid crunch will come out from Northeastern, but there's no one home. And look at that, Breezy
That
finds the
timing for Breezy.
perfect timing, and that reveals the neural theft. And D Young already has the senses of where they are, but Taku
actually winning out of that fight. That's huge. That's exactly what they need right now. It's going to be a 4v4 that's actually
Raid
winnable.
boss is down. I repeat, D Young is out of this round. Northeastern have a chance, but Yufei is still alive. The rest.
Oh my God, Sharks is making a mess out of this one.
The rest of these players that we have not had a chance to see shine yet, left alone in the 2v2. Breezy playing
Look at
with
this position
food.
of Breezy. They have no idea.
And that might be it. Buzz left alone in this 1v2. Knows where one is. Gets to the first, and Toodles takes the perfect timing. And when D Young goes down, we see the rest of Stout players step up when they needed it. They haven't needed to much this map, but in that round they did, and they will easily close it out.
Yeah, we saw D Young go down, and we thought that they might have a chance, but one goes down, you still have 4 more to go through. I mean, look at that. I want to talk about that 2v2 clutch. Not only did Breezy find his way through mid off the back of that peak, right? Northeastern didn't have that in mind, didn't realize that the possibility that the opponent Cypher could have lurked into mid. Also, Breezy, in that after getting the kill on the KO, he threw a cage towards A main to help his teammate walk through the smoke.
Yeah.
And actually set up a crossfire. So even if he went down, that trait was instantaneous from his teammates. So, I mean, the rest of the Stout is just as good as D Young, if not even better. So D Young might be
Young, though.
getting
Oh
all the
my
applause and the
gosh.
kills right now.
Oh,
The rest of
no.
his team out there
Oh,
with him.
no.
Oh my god, 2 more kills. Knife out into the smoke. A right click missed. But look at this. The mess is being made out there. This turret. He's pushing the judge. He can't get any more. Shock finally takes him down, but the damage is done and the round is secured by one player and one player only.
D Young having too much fun. Third Blade Storm on the half, 3 kills onto the round, and that is 9 on the board now for Stout. Running away with this map, running away with this game. Northeastern, what can you do?
He's hopping into smokes. He's pushing their spawn with a judge. What else can you say right now? 23-7. I mean, at this point, Stout might wanna let a few rounds go the way Northeastern to see how many kills D Young can get at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing that. He gets 3 to open up the round, and once he's fully overheated and is finally able to be taken down, that's when the rest of these players step up and handedly close out the round. And Northeastern is lost. I mean, they give up B for free, and D Young just walking in, fully content to just take these dry 1v1s, because why not?
Okay, look at this mid push from Northeastern here. 3 people down mid. This fight against Cypher is going to be absolutely crucial. Target wins that one out.
Are they aware of the KO?
Turtwig finally shows up and gets that kill. So that Northeastern making a really good call there, abusing the fact that Stout is perhaps a bit too overzealous on the way that they're approaching this map right now. To take mid, got the space, and now it's a 4v3 retake.
D Young is still alive though, and as long as he's alive, Stout have a chance. A 5v3 though, so they're at a disadvantage. Shock. D Young takes the perfect timing to take down Shocked. Ziggy though, able to find one, but instantly traded him. There it is. 3 on the round. 4. Oh my god, yes,
he dinked! He right clicked!
Oh my gosh, D Young trying to do it all himself. Gets 4. Gets 140 onto the last guy, but Buzz able to steal his nerves and steal that round away. Northeastern get 2.
Last round in the half.
D Young overheated on the last kill. He reswung way too early. Didn't have time to. Could have just reloaded and played it safe, but man, can you blame him?
Yeah, I mean 27 kills in the first half, and we're not done yet. He may have 30.
We have still one more round. Yeah.
By round 13. Oh my god.
This is the thing.
D
They're
Young.
letting him walk onto site alone. They're not even setting him up. They're not smoking. Right? Every time we see him push A into their CT, they're not smoking for him. They're not flashing for him. Not even reconning. It's just him dry swinging, killing everyone.
I mean, when you're that on fire,
This might be another one.
you don't need any util. You just need left click, and that is it. The KO though from Northeastern pushed up into the
UFace
spot.
doesn't check this. It's a trick of discipline play from Shocked here.
Gets the first. Can
Position
they get
away.
out though? Nope, it's D Young.
Can't win. Yeah.
None of
Doesn't
it-
he buy shoot? Doesn't he have shoots?
I think that's a
What?
spectator bug.
Yeah, it might be a spectator bug at this
I mean,
point.
he probably doesn't need it though. With the way he's playing, he's going out of these fights. He's going in and out of these fights untouched. So yeah, it's looking like a spectator bug because surely 2 players of Stout don't forget to buy armor. Things settle though. A 4v4 now.
I like what Breezy's doing here. Like I know we're focusing on the
Spike
spike goes
down,
down, but I
B.
do like what Breezy's doing, realizing that there could be a mid push and he punishes Taku. Realizing the tendencies of the opponent's side.
Wangle, though,
where you cannot
finds
be
a
doing that
timing.
with no information.
I don't think he knew Wangle snuck up that far. And this Omen now, able to sow so much discord. D Young, his 4th
Nice.
Blade Storm of the half. This dude is insane. He is on another level. He is playing a different game than the rest of these players, but Buzz was able to silence him last round. Can he do it again? Left alone in the 1v2.
No 30
We
kills.
see the knife,
Last player standing.
and there it is, D Young. A bit labored, but
Of what?
2 to
The
10
ground?
Stout. Dealing with Northeastern easily.
Switching sides.
Was that 29 frags, I think? Just shy, yeah,
Oh
just
my-
shy on the 30 mark.
Oh yeah, D Young. Yeah, you're being terrible. I mean, you didn't get 30 by half. I'm
Yeah, that's
disappointed.
Kinda bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Filthy from D Young. Wanted to get in and out of this game. Maybe he has a date to go to tonight. Trying to get out of this one quickly, but still,
Yeah,
Northeastern.
I don't think you should go to your date and your flex should be I got 30 kills in Valorant. You don't get a second one after that.
I think that might get you a second date. She sees the jet highlight. She's like, ooh, I'm feeling this. D Young though, with the dig into this round, looking to close out the map as sides have swapped on this defensive side. Northeastern though, looking to dictate the pace of this game. 4 towards B to start this. Breezy, only person here to receive, but
This position
in
of
this off
Breezy.
angle,
Oh no.
it's Turtwig. Maybe trying to match the opposing jet, but you still got a lot of work to do, Turtwig. Still got a long way to go.
Here.
Spam's a bit too high. The KO flash though, turned by D Young, and Taku sits him down, sits Toodles down as well, but Yuffe's able to trade out. Counter flash comes out. Things now in a 3v2 in favor of this attacking side. Buzz towards that close corner with Turtwig ready to swing off.
One enemy remaining.
Yuffe's though gets 4.
Oh my god.
Shocked. And an ace from
my
Yuffe's.
ace!
Oh
The
my
pistol
god.
round. Nah.
D Young, let me have this dance. This one's all me. I got you. Oh my goodness. Stout firing on all cylinders. Nothing can stop them at this point.
Northeastern didn't do anything wrong that round. Like, okay, let's take it away from D Young. I know we've been glazing him like insanely, but that round Northeastern did absolutely nothing wrong. They took the B site, they got the first kill on Breezy. Maybe that fight should have gone away with Breezy, but Turtwig does well, gets that first kill, gets an entry, sets up. They even push A Link. They push A Link with a flash into the smoke to get 2 kill, but then Uface just pops up with an ace. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you deal with the monster, you do everything correct, and then another one pops up to take his place.
I mean, it's like fighting a Leviathan or a Hydra. Sorry, I mean
Hydra, you cut off one
you
head.
cut
There's
off one
another,
head
there's 2
and
more.
there's another ace on the other side. Like, nothing you can do if you're Northeastern. I mean, they have to force into this. With the Spectres, Turtwig able to open up the round. Toodles though gets the dart ping and able to take out 2.
One
D
enemy
Young
remaining.
with the outlaw gets 2. Just jumping out. Oh,
Oh, he
my
right
God.
clicked, headshot, midair.
Oh my god.
Nah,
I mean, the Valorant gods look favorably upon D Young today. He can do no wrong.
he just deleted the opponent. Astra Bust went down with a single right click. What?
Oh,
No.
Northeastern. I mean, this is it's a GG go next. 2 to
I'm telling
12
you.
match point, series point. D Young's on 32. It's not looking good. You would have to pull a big rabbit out of a hat. You may have to pull a grizzly bear out of a hat at this point.
It's, you mentioned, it's like fighting a Hydra, a 7-headed Hydra. Kill 1 and there's 2 more. And exactly just like that, Northeastern, this will take a Herculean effort. 12, they need 11 rounds to win this map, right? Sorry, even 4, maybe even more, because if they win 10 rounds straight, it will go into OT. They need even 13 labors here. They'll try and take this first one in A site.
I mean, it's
Good
going
news
to take
is,
more than
no D
13
Young.
labors. They'll have to get to overtime if they even want a chance at winning this game. So, I don't know if we'll get that far with the way that Stout is playing, though. Wangle,
Oh my god,
with
the missed shots of Wangle, but doesn't matter.
A.
his teammates flood in off the back of that as Taku will get 2 with the Bulldog. A 3v2, but
Here.
look who's still alive. Still with the fighting chance in this round. Outlaw in his hand. It will be shooting like ops, though, as Northeastern, all of their players are weak.
Standing.
Turtwig, though, gets the first. Breezy,
Don't pick
Able to
this
trade
Turtwig,
one.
please. Do not swing this.
Turtwig. Teammate left low, and there it is.
Aw,
Turtwig,
why'd you try
a
harder?
bit of heroics of his own, but we're going to need to see a lot more from the side of Northeastern if we want this game to continue.
You know it's bad when the real, like, good... I think the best thing that can happen to them is if they go to a site and there's no D on that site. Like that last round, I think we can chalk it down to, oh, they took A, no D Young, they won. It's pretty bad if that's your really the only thing you can hang on to. Is you just find a site without the monster, and then you hit that site. But even if you do, I mean, the rest of the team on Stout is always ready to step up. But this
Yeah, I
timeout, I
mean,
mean, you kind of have to. I mean, at this point, just use whatever advantage you can get. I mean, you have two timeout. Maybe as well just use them. You know?
yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, the strategy to this point has been avoid D Young, but when you do that, you're going into the rest of these players on Stout, and they're no slouches either. You have Breezy, you have UFace, who already has an ace into this game. So we can already see the players of Stout kind of taking advantage of that. It's kind of like in football when you have a really strong corner. So you throw it to the other side, and then that corner is getting all the interceptions. It's like there's nothing you can do on the side of Northeastern. You feel almost helpless because the rest of these players of Stout are so good as well. They still have those mechanics. The thing is, DeYoung is just a star outshining all of them.
Okay, take a breather. We've been treated to an absolute sugar-loaded dessert of a map. Let's see what Northeastern can do. Again, they go to the A site. No D Young here. That's good for them. It's gonna be what third we can do. This KO would absolutely denies him the ability to use knives, and just like that, they shut the fire. They shut the door on Northeastern, and they put out their fire before it even got started.
Hung up on a string like some clothes left to dry as the KO ult comes out to remove the Blade Storms. A bit of the threat taken out of this round now. Still, Northeastern is looking to hit towards A. There's 3 players on Stout here to absorb this hit though, and Taku is able to break the side open a little bit. That's Wangle now, taken out of this round. A couple bomb taps, try and bait out any util, try and bait out any pushes.
Stout's playing this smart. They're backing away here. They realize that Northeastern doesn't have that much space to work with. Breezy knife out, please. Oh my god, he goes down. Okay, it's still a 3v3 though. They have to re-clear this Astra. Buzz is playing this smart. He has to kind of just play deep. He's trying to pick the fight. He gets one, he backs away, and the re-swing is perfect. D-Young doesn't have the timing. Back turn. He gets punished. It's all on UFace here. She put up an insane performance in that first half. Got an ace. It's only going to be up to her here. 1v2 has the soul vault. Still has those Astra stars online. UFace finds one. Has to hurry up because this Hunter's Fury is going to come in any moment now. Doesn't even need it. Buzz close that one out, and that's a 4th for Northeastern.
4 on the board for Northeastern, a 4K for Buzz that round, but you're going to need a lot more heroics if you want to keep this going. I think that was a great round. We saw them, their initial idea didn't work once that KO ult was popped from UFaze, but once things kind of settled into that round, we saw a really good A split. We had that Cypher and Astra sitting towards that Heaven area. And then once their util came back online, they were able to kind of play around that really well. They pushed back Stout, made them play the retake from really far back, and they were an aggressive push. DeYoung with the Sheriff, but unable to take out anyone. Taku nailing his teammate out, but Breezy, that triggers the push from him, is able to get the Neural Theft online, but a 4v3 with the weaker weapons. Will this be the finisher? Buzz looking to be the first point of entry towards his B site. No one home on either side, but as bomb will go down now, things will settle.
Yeah, Ziggy's throwing these guns away. Smart.
Yep. Wangle though, looking to be the first point of contact.
Oh, this is going to be a free flank, but he has a classic, so it's going to be labor to try and get kills at this distance. Gonna be up to his teammates to take the attention away from him. This classic is gonna prove a huge challenge, especially 2 players here.
And the trip is still up. They don't know. He's TP'd past it. He's waiting for his teammates, trying to take the optimal timing. Shock though, puts him down, and there it is. 5 on the board for Northeastern. Similar scenes to the first map. They're starting to mount a bit of a comeback, but we're gonna need to see perfection from here on out.
Stout's gonna be fine in that round. I mean, that was an eco round, but Stout has kind of realized the gap that are being presented to them. That mid area, I think Stout can really start abusing that. I don't want to see them just play on site like they always do. I want to see them actually do that like that round. Actually set up your players, maybe throw a flash, maybe throw a recon, push that B area, and walk down mid, put insert a player deep into that bottom mid area. Because Northeastern, they're kind of they're being forced to play together because they cannot afford a single kill to be to go untraded, right? So they're just playing together. They take one space at a time, and then they execute. if Stout can start playing more proactively, take more space toward other areas that Northeastern is not present at, we'll actually have a chance to close this one out.
Dart pings down to Yufei's backside, but the Molly will come out, pushes back the side of Northeastern. And that does allow time for these rotates from the defensive side to come out. I'm looking towards this battle in mid. Omen and the Cypher. Ziggy, though, wins that from the attacking side. But Buzz goes down as well. And that's the smoke's gone from Northeastern now. Will not have this into this round. Yufei's, Breezy, one apiece.
That
Northeastern,
might be it.
a 2v4. They have the Hunter's Fury to work with, but D-Young still alive on this B site.
A 2v4, and they're running into the Young. This might be an insurmountable task. The Young 1 and 2, and that's GG.
D-Young, the hero, ends with 34 kills, 5 Blade Storms in that game, I think. Just an insane performance, and Stout easily able to take care of Northeastern. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
549 ACS. Oh my god. D-Young, you're not human. That was an insane performance from the Jet, and I know we've been glazing him all cast, but if there's one person that
we have
deserves
to.
it,
We're forced to, guys.
when you have nearly 550 ACS, there's nothing we can do. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, you say insane. I'm gonna call it what it is. Honestly, it was a psychopathic performance from D Young. It was completely unacceptable. You cannot be doing this to any team, like especially after that first map. Like they won so handedly that first map. He didn't need to do this, but he did anyways. What a monster!
I mean,
Wow.
Stout will take down Northeastern in 2 maps. A beautiful way to start out the season. D-Young, a huge performance. Yufei's, we have to mention that ace we saw. A big round into that game to keep Stout, ahead in that. Well, they didn't really need any more help, but it was nice to see other players getting in on the fun as well. It wasn't just D-Young. So I think that'll be all for us today.